Alright YouTube, what's going on? It's Hightower5000 here today bringing you a Hero's Welcome quest guide. The quest requirements for this quest are 60 Divination, 67 Mining, 62 Slayer, 67 Smithing. You must have also completed Lunar Diplomacy and Tai Bu Wan Trio. You must have also completed all of Otto's Godblessed Barbarian training activities. There is also 3 additional quests which are heavily recommended for this quest. These are the World Wakes, the Ritual of Mahjarrat and One of a Kind. It's also suggested you have over level 100 combat as this is a combat heavy quest. The items you'll require for this quest are soft clay, 1 mithril bar, protection from dragon fire. For this I'm using an anti-fire potion, however bring what you want. At least 875 coins to enter Brimhaven Dungeon, though if you have Karamja Gloves 3 then you do not require this fee. The recommended items for this quest are a way to reach the ancient caverns. This could be a Slayer Cape, Games Necklace or Ferocious Ring. Other recommended items are combat related such as prayer and combat potions. You will also require a large amount of food for this quest. We will bank at multiple stages in between our fighting. And then finally a Beast of Burden to store lots of food for the final fight, which I'll talk about later on. Note that there are multiple enemies to defeat during this quest. That you will be defeating either a bronze, iron, steel, mithril or adamant dragon depending on your combat level. You will also be defeating 2 other monsters which also scale to your combat level. You will also be defeating 2 other high level monsters. Finally, once you're ready, make your way to the docks in Rellekka, which is shown on screen. The best way of getting there is by using the Fremennik region lodestone. Once you arrive at the quest start point, you want to go ahead and speak with Freya Lune. You will then engage in conversation with Alfrick as well. Select option number 2, of course. And then you'll get the quest prompt. Go ahead and accept the quest. Continue through all of the dialogue. We now need to go and speak with multiple people about V. First, go south just to the clothes shop right beside you, open the door and go inside. You then want to speak with Yersa. Select option number 1, can I ask you about V? You'll notice in your all chat log you have collected 1 out of 7 pieces of information. We now need to gather information off another 6 people. For the next person, go outside of the clothing store and you will see Pier the Seer just to your southwest. Go ahead and speak with him. Select option number 1, can I ask you about V? Once you've finished that dialogue, head into the middle of the market. You will come across a person called Sigmund the Merchant. Go ahead and speak with him. Select option number 1, can I ask you about V? You then want to head south and open the door to the building directly south of the marketplace. Enter inside. You will then see Swen the Navigator. Go ahead and speak with him. Exit out of that building, head to your east and into the long hall. Inside you will come across Brunt the Chieftain. He is likely to be near the door. Go ahead and speak with him. Select option number 1, can I ask you about V? Head over to the bar area in the long hall. You will come across a person called Manny the Reveler. Go ahead and speak with him. Select option number 1, can I ask you about V? You then want to exit out of the hall. You then want to head round to the northeast of the hall. and then you'll come across a person called Olaf the Bard. Go ahead and speak with him. Select option number 1, can I ask you about V? You should have now collected 7 out of 7 pieces of information. You then want to return to the quest start point. For this, head directly west, and then speak again with Freya. Select option number 2, let me help with the planning. You will now be presented with an interface where you have to answer multiple questions. All of the correct answers are shown on screen now. Please pause, copy over the answers, and then once you're finished, hit Submit Answers. You will then go back into dialogue, and then you'll enter into a long cutscene. Do note that you can skip this cutscene by hitting the escape key. Once you escape or finish the cutscene, you will be teleported to the southeastern corner of Rellekka. You then want to return to the quest start point, which is shown on screen. This is just to the northwest of your current location. Once you arrive back, go ahead and speak with either or. Select option number 1, yes. Once you arrive on the island, you want to enter into the cave entrance. This is just beside the dock. Inside the cave, V will be present. Go ahead and speak with. Select option number 1, your name. Continue through the dialogue. Select option number 1, why can't you do it yourself? Select option number 4, I need to get moving. You then want to exit back out the cave to the south. For this next part, we must investigate 5 different locations on the islands. There are 2 of each location that you must pair up. I will show on screen now all of these different 5 locations and I will work through them in order, though feel free to do any order you would like. To start with, go to the east of the island and there is a dock which you can go ahead and investigate. V will then spawn in. Finish the dialogue with him and then you want to go south along the shore of the island and then you'll come across another old dock. Go ahead and investigate this as well. V will then manage to pair these 2 up and then in your all chat dialogue you should get a message saying you've fixed 1 of 5 duplicated locations. Next, heads northeast over to a fishing boat. We're going to pair up the fishing boats. Go and investigate this fishing boat. Once you've done this, you will harvest another wisp and then V will spawn in. Just wait till V starts chatting with you and then receives energy from that wisp. You then want to go west and then you should see another fishing boat. Go and investigate that. And then again, this process will be repeated with V. You'll then get a blank screen and you should get another message in your all chat box saying you have fixed 2 out of 5 duplicate locations. Head to your southwest where there is a gnarled tree. We're going to pair these 2 up next. Go and investigate this tree in the southwest corner of the island. Again, wait for V to spawn and start to harvest from the wisp. You then want to make your way up north into the northwestern corner of the islands, where the other gnarled tree is. Go ahead and investigate this. You'll then get a message saying you have fixed 3 out of 5 duplicate locations and some more dialogue with V. Return to the middle of the island. You will then come across a trap door, which is a cave entrance which you want to investigate. Once again, a wisp will appear. Wait on V spawning and harvesting energy. You then want to go to the southeast of the island where the other cave entrance is. Investigate this and just wait. You will then get another message in your all chat box saying you have fixed 4 out of 5 duplicate locations and some more dialogue with V. Finally, head back to the north of the island. This time you should come across some rock formation. Go ahead and investigate this. Once again, wait for V to spawn and start harvesting energy from the wisp. Then head directly to your west where there is the final rock formation. This is in the northwestern corner of the islands. And then that should be all of the duplicated locations now found. Just to confirm, you should get a message in your all chat dialogue and also some more dialogue with V. You then want to return and speak to V. He is located in his cave. Enter back into the cave by the docks in the northeastern corner. Speak with V. Continue through his dialogue. You will then enter into a cutscene. You can go ahead and escape this cutscene by pressing the escape key. Once you finish the cutscene, you will get some final dialogue. V will have been defeated and V's body will just remain. You then want to enter into the northern room by passing it through the door. There are belongings in the southeastern corner. Search these belongings. You should then get a journal which you want to go ahead and read. You want to go through all of the pages and then close back out of it. From this you will get some map fragments which you need to go ahead and solve. I'll put the correct solution for this puzzle on screen. It's quite simple. You just drag fragments from the right hand side over to the left hand side, and then once you're done, just press the done button at the bottom. Very straightforward. If you are struggling with this, do not just look at the landmass or picture that is shown. Look at the watermarks and the writing around the sides. This can be really useful for when solving this map fast. Once you have finished putting the map back together, you will get some more dialogue and then you'll have a full map which you can actually now just read. You then want to close out of it and then you will get some very important dialogue which you must just pass through. For this next part of the quest, we are heading to the Ancient Cavern. For this, I recommend either bringing a Games Necklace, Slayer Ring or Slayer Cape for the quick teleportation. We are also going to be going into combat. There will be a chance to bank after this trip and before the final boss fight. Once you are ready, make your way to the Ancient Cavern. I've shown on screen where the whirlpool entrance is to dive through. However, if you are teleporting there directly, then you don't need to do this. If you are using the whirlpool entrance, once you arrive, you just want to dive into whirlpool. Once you're inside the Ancient Cavern, follow the map on screen to get to Kuradel. From Kuradel's location, head south. Then on the western wall, you will see an ancient door with the V marking. Open this up You then want to continue through the dialogue, and then you'll realise you need some form of key. Use your soft clay on this ancient door. You will then receive a key mold in your inventory. You then want to head to your north. And then you want to climb back down these steps you came up. You then want to make your way over to the northwest. Once you reach the east of the cave, you'll come across a staircase, but do not climb up this staircase just yet. Make sure you have your anti-fire potion or shield or whatever you've gone for on. You might want to drink an overload. You might also want to put on prayers because we're going to be fighting a mithril dragon. You want to climb up the stairs. You want to start fighting with a mithril dragon. You then want to use your mithril bar on this dragon. And then from that, you will get a Dragon Mithril Key V. You then want to climb back down the stairs. You then want to return to the door. For this, head back to your southwest. Climb back up the stairs. Continue past Curadel to your south. And then try and open the ancient door once again. This time you will be successful. For this next part, we are actually going to be killing a dragon. Again, this is scaled to your combat. Once you are ready, select yes, I am ready. Once you've defeated your dragon, you will be put into another cutscene. Just continue through the dialogue. Unfortunately, this cutscene cannot be skipped. Once the cutscene finishes, I recommend taking a step back into the cave where the dragon was to your east and turning off your prayers. For this next part, you want to head west. You'll then be put into a cutscene where you're shown a chest, which we must get to. You'll also be shown a corridor with pressure plates, and then finally some of our enemies at the end of the corridor. To get over to the chest at the west of the room, you want to make your way along the southern wall. And then you want to go and stand on the platform where I am at. This is the central left platform. You then want to jump onto the stepping stone to your northwest. You then want to jump 2 stepping stones to your northeast. You then want to jump 2 stepping stones to your northwest. You then want to jump 1 stepping stone to your southwest. And then you want to go and open the chest. You will then find a key. You then want to return onto the stepping stone to your east. You then want to move twice to your northeast. And then step north. For this next part, we need to make our way up the corridor to the north. The one only rule is to make sure you do not step on any pressure pads. Make sure you follow my instructions clearly. First, you want to stand directly south of the bunch of crates in the southwestern corner. You then want to push these crates to your north once. In front of you to your north on the tile, and the tile in front of you again, you'll have 2 lots of crates like you can see on screen. You want to push these north 3 times. Once you've done that, you want to head directly back south to the start of the puzzle. You then want to walk over to the eastern wall, and then you want to head north. At this stage you should be south of another set of crates. Push this set of crates north twice. You then want to walk to your west 3 tiles. You should then just be to the west. You should then be east of a set of crates. Push these crates west. At this stage you should have crates to your west and then crates to your north. Push the crates to your north twice. Step twice to your east. You should have 2 sets of crates to your north. You want to push these crates north twice. You should then have 2 sets of crates to your north, 1 set of crates to your east, and a pillar to your west. Push these crates to your east twice. Move 2 tiles north. Move 1 tile west. Push the crates to your west only once. You then want to push the crates to your south once. You then want to take 2 steps to your west, 3 steps to your north, and then we have managed to pass the puzzle. There is a room to the east. Go and open the door. Inside this room there is a chest up against the southern wall. Go and open this. From this you should get Dragonkin Protection Charm and also some notes. You want to read through the notes, make sure you go through every single page, close out of the notes. You'll then get some dialogue, just pass through this. You then want to wear the Dragonkin Protection Charm. If you do need to at this stage, go get more combat supplies because you are about to fight Tarshak. Overall, it's not an easy fight and you will need supplies for it. If you're unsure about how to judge this fight and what to bring, watch what I do first and then repeat for yourself afterwards. For this next part, we're going to be heading to the Grot Worm lair near Port Surim, which is shown on screen. The best way of getting there is by using the Port Surim lodestone. Once you arrive at the cave, enter inside, head along to your west. At this stage, if you have level 50 agility, you want to head south and there's a shortcut which you want to go through and this will take you to the bottom layer of the cave. If you do not have level 50 agility, follow the map on screen and pause the video and make your way down to the bottom layer. Once you arrive at the bottom layer, if you're coming in from the east side or the west side, make your way to the centre of the room where there are some stairs. Once you see these stairs, you want to climb down them. Note, shortly we will be going into combat after this cutscene. Continue through the dialogue. Now, there's not too much to know about this boss. Overall, it isn't too difficult to go ahead and defeat. You'll be fighting him again shortly. What you need to be aware of is a few things. Make sure you avoid his charge attack by fleeing from him. There's usually a pop-up that appears saying he is about to charge. Make sure you just keep moving. For this fight, I just continually moved around and that worked out for me. He will also spit some fire out. Do not stand in this fire, try and avoid it at all costs. I often got tagged by it, but if you are keeping moving, then you will be fine. If you are using melee, then this can be a bit more difficult, but make sure you are just continuously moving away from him, then going back and attacking him, and so forth. Range and mage will have a better time. After a period of time you will defeat him, he will simply just get up and fly away. You will then get some dialogue. Go ahead and continue through this, and at that stage that is the fighting complete, so just turn off your prayers. You then want to re-speak with Falakas. Continue through his dialogue. Once you get to the option, select option number 5, I'm done here. Now it is time to prepare for the final fight. Make your way to a bank. I would recommend getting your best combat gear possible. There is no real preference over range, melee or mage. I would personally recommend going for either range or mage just due to the fact that you can be at a distance. However, it is up to yourself. You might just take slightly more damage if you're using melee. You want to bank all of your items except the Dragonkin Protection Charm. Make sure this is equipped for the final fight. Alongside that, in your inventory, you want to have a one-click teleport, you want to have any combat potions, and then any prayer potions. You then want to bring as much food as you possibly can. Again, if you have level 3 Kramja gloves, then you do not need to have any money on you, though if you haven't got Kramja 3 gloves, then you will require 875 coins to enter Brimhaven Dungeon. I would highly recommend bringing a Beast of Burden just for the extra food. You do inflict a lot of damage just running around the room and from the fire, so it is super useful to just have that extra bit of food on hand if required. Do note that I am actually going to commentate over the fight with all the boss instructions, so I recommend you watch me do the fight first, then do it yourself, because some of the mechanics are quite tricky. Once you're ready for the final fight, make your way to the location shown on screen, which is the entrance to Brimhaven Dungeon. This is found on Kramja Islands. The best way of getting there is by using the Kramja lodestone. Once you arrive, you want to enter into the cave. You then want to make your way to the location shown on screen, which is in the southwestern corner of where the steel dragons are located. Just navigate through the cave. Do note that as you go through the cave, you will have to chop down various vines. Once you arrive in the southwestern part with the steel dragons, you want to enter inside. You will then run into some dialogue, continue through the dialogue. So once you have finished the chat, quickly pot up and then you should be good to go. There are 2 stages to this boss fight. Before I talk about the stages, there are stuff that does happen in both sections. You will always be getting attacked one way or another from the boss. The boss can attack in multiple ways. That is by hitting the ground, having rocks fall on you, or by fire. Fire is going to be the biggest cause that inflicts damage into you. For this, in with the room, as you can see, there are 4 pillars. There's the boss, and there's also 2 bodies of water. These bodies of water are your friend. I would highly recommend standing in these as much as possible. What will happen to start with in stage 1 is you are going to be mining away the 4 pillars in the room while avoiding these attacks. Again, if you're caught by the fire, you will be set on fire, so you need to run to a body of water to no longer be on fire, or you will continuously take damage. Then, when the coast is clear, you want to mine away the pillars. Do note that each pillar has 3 different kinds of status. The normal, non-attacked, then it'll have a chip status, and then a weakened pillar. You want to go up to the normal pillar, you want to chip it away, and then you'll stop mining. And then you want to go and mine it again until it becomes a weakened pillar. All this will be showing in your all chat dialogue box. Once that is done, and after the boss has slammed the ground a few times and blown some fire, a fireball will come towards you. You want to lure this towards the pillar. For this, I recommend standing right in front of the pillar, letting the fireball hit you. You will take some damage, not a lot, but then that will inflict damage on you, but also the pillar, and that will destroy the pillar. You will then need to repeat this 4 times for stage 1. Overall, it sounds quite simple. It's unfortunate in this stage because you can't actually inflict much damage in any way. You just need to go ahead and focus on the pillars and make sure you're not attacked too much. Again, I've explained the mechanics, and the mechanics are on screen, so hopefully you understand them, and if not, you'll pick them up really quickly. And there we go, that is me managed to complete stage 1. You can tell you've completed stage 1 when all the rocks fall on the boss in the middle of the room, and then you can actually start attacking the boss himself. Stage 2 is quite different. You can go ahead and attack the boss. What will happen in between the stages is rocks will fall down from the roof. The boss will then be trapped. The boss will then crawl out and start to engage with you in close quarters combat. For this, there's going to be lots of fire and there's going to be lots of rocks littering the floor. Use these rocks that are falling to the floor to your advantage. You can be given damage by these rocks, but so can the boss. So wherever the rocks are falling, try and lure the boss under these rocks. And of course, don't get too close yourself or you will take lots of damage. Again, the boss will be blowing fire. Now, in this case, this is actually a good thing because you can still be hit by this fire, but if you're standing in the water, you won't. And then also the fire can be used to damage the boss. So again, try and lure the boss to where the fire and the rocks are, because this will inflict most of the damage. You will be doing a lot of damage yourself, but you can make the game do most of the work. You will see me during stage 2 moving around a lot. That is because I need to move from one side of the body of water to the other because the rocks continuously fell on me. Again, remember, just switch this around, move around the body of water like I'm doing, and eventually you will be able to inflict enough damage with your weapons and with the rocks and with the fire, and then eventually you'll be able to defeat the boss. Again, you're likely to take a lot of damage here. You've got your Beast of Burden, so use it, withdraw food on a regular basis, and with that you should be able to defeat the boss, hopefully without too much difficulty. If you are still struggling, then I recommend going ahead and upgrading your gear or bringing better potions. Auras are also super useful for this, and if you're still struggling, leave a comment down in the comment section below, and then I or someone else can hopefully help you out. If anyone's got any tips for the boss, leave them down below as well, and I'll leave a hearted comment. Once you get to the end of the fight, you will go into a cutscene, continue through the dialogue, you can select any option here. I'm going to select option number 3, try to remain out of it. You will then exit the cave. Once you're outside of the cave, you want to go ahead and try and re-enter the tunnel. From here, you want to return to the quest start point with Freya and Alfrick in Rellekka, which is shown on screen. The best way of getting there is by using the Fremennik Province Rellekka lodestone. Once you arrive back in Rellekka, go ahead and speak with Alfrick or Freya. Select option number 1, yes. You will then arrive back on the island. You want to enter into the cave. You want to enter the room to the north. And then re-speak with them again. And there we go, that is the quest complete. Congratulations, you've completed Hero's Welcome. You're awarded with 2 quest points, 10,000 smithing, mining, slayer and divination XP, ability to produce 5% more runes when runecrafting, access to replayable abomination boss fight, access to additional adamant dragons in the Dragonkin lair, access to additional bandite or rocks in the abomination cave, along with 2 treasure hunter keys. Thanks very much for watching this quest guide. Please leave a like, rating and subscribe if you are new around here. Go down into that description below where you will find other quest playlists where I'm sure I'll be able to help you out with another quest. Check out my Twitter, my Patreon and my Discord, all links are down below, and that is all for this quest guide, ladies and gentlemen. So thanks very much for watching. My name is Hightower5000 and I'm out.